Okay, class, good day. So, our topic for today will be business combination under the equity method. So, remember lang, the equity method, yung concept niya is that the parent share in the changes in the equity of the subsidiary. When you say changes in the equity, that is consist mostly of the net income as well as the dividends. Yan naman mainly or primarily yung nagche-change in the equity of the subsidiary. So let's recap lang or review the accounting under the equity method. So for equity method po, the investment in subsidiary will increase whenever there is a share in the equity in income of the subsidiary or um, mas known siya as the share in profit of the subsidiary. But for business combination, ganito na lang natin siya tawagin, equity in share or equity in income of subsidiary. And then, the investment balance will be reduced by the cash dividends received from the subsidiary. So, ayan. Whatever will be the balance, yan yung this will be presented in the separate, no, separate financial statements of the parent. Okay? Separate FS. Now, um, a quick overview lang or comparison on the cost and equity method. So, cost and equity method po, in there as to the investment in subsidiary account, medyo may pagkakaiba sila in the sense that under the cost method, yung investment balance will not change, no? It's because mainly naman hindi naman under the cost method, hindi naman nagmo-move yung investment balance whenever there is a share in the income of the subsidiary and then whenever there is a dividend income received from or dividend received from the subsidiary. So walang movement mainly sa cost method. However, for equity method, that is different because yun na nga, the parent actually shares in the changes in equity of the subsidiary, i-reflect yan sa investment balance. So that's why the investment balance moves, no, as the year goes by, no. And yan yung major na pagkakaiba ng cost and equity method. In their similarity naman, it lies within consolidated financial statements, no, kasi the concept naman in this for this consolidated FS, since cost and equity method po is both acceptable under PFRS. So under consolidated FS, no, yung equity, ay, hindi, sorry, that is not the equity, the investment balance, the investment account natin, okay, whether, okay, whether cost and equity method, kailangan po eliminated. Okay? Kailangan or there is a need to eliminate the investment account. No? Cost and equity method, similar lang yan. Kailangan ma-eliminate yung investment account. Okay? Sa consolidated net income, similar lang po yan. Dapat same lang. Okay? Same lang na dapat na income yung ma-derive. Whether ginamit ng cost or equity method. Dapat same lang yung consolidated net income. No? And actually dapat yung PAT-P or the parents or the profit attributable to the parent dapat same lang din both methods as well as the NCNIS or the NCI share in the net income of the subsidiary dapat same lang din, obviously, both methods. So yun naman kasi dapat yung concept. Okay, ayan, for consolidated net income. Okay. And then, ano pa yung kailangan natin to consider? Okay? So, ayan, yung investment account, kailangan both eliminated. The consolidated net income, dapat same. Yung share, the parent, dapat same. Yung NCI share, dapat same din yan. Okay? Ayan. So, yan yung similarities natin with regard sa cost and equity method for consolidated financial statement. Uh, Actually, yung NCI dapat same din. Actually, yung NCI balance, whether, no, cost or equity method pang ginamit, same din dapat yung NCI balance natin. Or others call this the NCNAS or the NCI in the net assets of the subsidiary. Okay. Now, so to apply this in our problem solving or to further appreciate this, no, we will try to apply this in our set of problems. Now, ito yon. Okay. Now, for our problems po, okay, I have prepared at least um, ilang problems. At least tatlong problems yung prepare natin dito. Okay? Tatlong problems. Okay? So, yung other problems, okay, in our other part of the video na lang siguro. Okay? Sige. Now, for our problem number one, this is the classic example of the application of the equity method. No? Sige. So this is subsequent to date of acquisition na. Since you nag-apply naman talaga yung equity method sa subsequent to date as well as the intercompany sale of inventories and PPE. Okay? So let's have the first problem. So for our first problem po, okay? Number one is the goodwill, no? The amount of goodwill as December 31, 2023. Okay. The investment in subsidiary account as of December 31, 2023, no? Assuming that the parent acquired 80% for 300,000 of the subsidiary, no? What amount ko, no, of the full goodwill tama, as of December 31, 2023? Okay? And what will be the balance of the investment in subsidiary as of December 31, 2023, assuming yung 80% related to number 3. Okay, assuming 80% yung interest na inacquire ng parent over the subsidiary. Okay? So, let's read the facts of the problem. Okay. So, Parent Inc. or P Company or Inc. purchased a controlling interest on January 1, 2022 over the subsidiary. When the subsidiary's common stock and retained earnings were carried at 180,000 and 60,000 respectively. So, ito yung basically yung book value, the net assets of the subsidiary. Okay? So, pakitotal nga itong dalawang to. That is 180,000 plus 60,000. That is 240,000 pesos. Okay? Ayan. On that day, S Books approximated its fair market values with the exception of the company's inventories and patent. Okay? Patent, which had an estimated remaining life of 10 years, had a fair market value which was 20,000 higher than the value. Now po, yung remaining life of 10 years po, if the problem is silent, we assume that the remaining life of 10 years is accounted for as of the date of acquisition. So from January 1, 2022, yung start ng amortization of that excess. Yung 20,000 that is considered an excess, kailangan natin i-amortize yan 10 years from the date of acquisition which was on January 1, 2022. As inventories on January 1, 2022 were estimated to have a fair value that is 16,000 higher than their book value. Now, yung inventories naman po, um, if the problem is silent, if hindi siya in state, kung nasold ba yung inventories then the current year, the next year, we will assume na nasold siya within the current year. We will assume sold siya in the current year. Okay? Ayan, we are basically amortized within the current year if the problem is silent. Kahit hindi na nasold siya. Okay? Okay. Now, it was predicted that the subsidiary's goodwill impairment test, which was to be conducted on December 31, 2023, okay, yung impairment test obviously is conducted no, annually. So, or whenever there is an indication of impairment. So at least I think annually yun. Annually tested for impairment. Okay? Uh, would result in a loss equal to 10% of the recorded goodwill, okay, at the date of acquisition. Okay? 10% siya of the recorded goodwill. During 2022, the subsidiary reported net income of 60,000 and paid 12,000 in dividends. Okay? In 2023 naman, okay? Okay. Net income naman of the subsidiary were 72,000 and 15,000 for the dividends. Okay, so respectively. S uses the straight line amortization for all assets and uses the equity method. So straight line lang. And if the problem is silent, assume natin na straight line then actually yung policy natin. Okay, assuming the parent purchase 100. of the subsidiary for the 300,000. Yan na. So let's first compute the goodwill, no? So goodwill. So sir, how do you paano ba natin to sasagutan? So unang step ko lang, as usual class, the first step is to convert the book value of the subsidiary to its fair value. So paano yan sir? So first we have the book value. So magkano yung book value natin dito? So ito yung magkano yung BV na natin? 240,000. I-adjust, i-convert natin to by reflect fair value adjustments. So magkano yung value adjustments? Meron tayong inventory and meron tayong patent. Okay? So inventory, magkano yung inventory? That was 16,000. Okay? And yung patent, that is 20,000. Okay? 20,000. So yung FIVINA natin or the fair value of the net identifiable net assets natin of the subsidiary, that is 240,000 plus 16,000 plus 20,000, 6,000. Okay? So, ito yung basically yung acquisition cost natin. Magkano? The acquisition cost was 300,000. So this 300,000 is actually 100% na. So the FIVINA 100% na rin yan. So FIVINA natin, since 100% naman siya in-acquired, so less 276,000, no, as of the date of acquisition, will na how much? At the date of acquisition, meron siyang 24,000. 24,000. However, on December 31, 2023, nagkaroon daw ng impairment test. And after conducting the impairment test, it was determined na meron tayong impairment loss of the goodwill, no? So meron tayong impairment loss na magkano po? Impairment loss na equal sa 10% of the recorded goodwill. So that's 10% of 24,000, which is, no, 2,400. 2,400. Okay? And therefore, our goodwill as of December 31, 2023, no, is how much po? No? 24,000 less 2,400, that will be 21,600. 21,600. Therefore, our final answer for number 1 will be 21,600. Okay? Okay. Next is the second question. The second question is the investment balance of the subsidiary as of December 31, 2023. So before we can go to the computation of the investment balance, kailangan po na natin i-compute yung equity in the income of the subsidiary. So, sir, how do we compute that one? So, I'll show you class how to compute. So, ganito lang. Okay? Ganito lang natin siya i-compute. So, number one po natin na gagawin dito is to have the share in profit of the subsidiary. Saan yung share in profit of the subsidiary? Okay, for 2024, nahin natin for 2024. Okay, so share in the profit or share in the net income. Share in net income, that is to 2022. Sorry, this is 2022 pala. So this is for 2022. Okay? 2022. Okay. So for 2022, we have 60,000. So 60,000 times 100% actually. 100%, that will be 60,000. Okay? And then, i-reflect natin dito yung amortization of the excess. So, ano yung amortize natin? Number one, yung inventory. So, yung inventory po, 100% amortize po siya because we assume that the inventory was sold in 2022 in full. Ayan. So, na-sold siya lahat. We assume that one, no? So, what is 16,000 times 100%? No, 16,000 times 100%. Therefore, your adjustment would be 16,000 as well. Okay? 16,000. Next po is the amortization of the patent, no? The amortization of the patent, that was how much? 20,000. So, di ba? As you can see, this is 20,000 higher than its book value. So, 20,000, no? Divided by 10. No, 10 years. Obviously, 10 years yung kanyang amortization. 10 years amortization. So, um, yan, divided by 10 times 100% din siya. Okay, since 100% man yung controlling interest acquired. Okay, sige. So that is 20,000 divided by 10, that is 2,000. Okay? Okay. Are there any impairment loss? Wala po. Under 2022, wala po tayong impairment loss. So, for this one, no, very basic lang. This is already our equity in income of the subsidiary since wala man tayong impairment loss. Okay? Equity in income, that is 60,000 less 16,000 less 2,000, that is how much? That is for 42,000 pesos. No, 42,000 pesos. That's for 2022. Now, for 2023, okay, similar lang yung gagawin natin Similar lang. For 2023, meron din tayong share in net income. Okay? How much ba yung net income for 2023? That was 72,000. 72,000. Times na natin 100% kasi 100% yung na-acquire na interest. That is 72,000. Okay? 72,000. Now, yung inventory, since na-amortize na natin siya last year, therefore, wala na. Hindi na natin siya i-consider for 2023. Yung go-consider na lang natin is the amortization of the excess of the patent. No? Which is as well 2K, no, 2K for 20,000 divided by 10 times 100%, okay, that is 2,000 yung i-consider natin dito. Okay? And don't forget class that in 2023 nagkaroon po ng impairment loss. So i-reflect din po natin dito yung amount of the impairment loss. Na magkano? Yung impairment loss po natin, ito impairment loss on 2023, it was recorded at 2,400. Okay? 2,400 po yung impairment loss din natin dito. Okay? Okay, don't forget the impairment loss. Okay? Ayan. Baka malito or baka dyan tayo magkamali kung hindi natin i-reflect din yung impairment loss. So, after considering all of the items, ito na rin po yung ating equity in income of the subsidiary. So, how much po yan? Paki-compute po. 72,000 less 2,000 less 2,400, that is equal to 67,600. So therefore, class, we can actually compute na for the investment balance as of December 31, 2023. So ito po siya. Okay? So investment balance po natin, meron po tayong 300,000. So 300,000 as our acquisition cost. And i-add lang po natin for 2022 equity in income, that is 42,000 ito. 42,000. Okay? Lagay din natin yung 67,600. And don't forget class, kung meron tayong equity in income of subsidiary, yung nagpapababa naman ng investment, the share in dividends. And as you can see, nag-distribute ng dividends sa subsidiary during 2022 and 2023. So, 2022, nag-distribute siya ng 12,000. 12,000 dividends. 12,000 times 100% is 100% naman yung controlling interest. For 2023, similar din, nag-distribute siya ng 15,000. Okay? 15,000 po. After considering all of the items po, dito, we have your we have your ending balance as of 2023. Okay? Ending balance as of 2023 of the investment in subsidiary account, that is 300,000 plus 42,000 plus 67,600 less minus 12,000 less 15,000, that will be 382,600. Okay, 382,600. And our final answer for this question is letter C. Okay. Ayan. So, I'll give you time to absorb muna. Okay. So, that's it for our first assumption, which is 100% yung na-acquire na controlling interest. Now, let's go to question number 3 and 4. So, for questions 3 and 4, let's assume naman that the interest acquired or the interest acquired was at 80%. Okay? So, magkano daw yung full goodwill, okay, on December 31, 2023. So, actually, class, similar lang yung gagawin natin dito. So, yung acquisition cost natin, how much is our acquisition cost? Okay? Acquisition cost, actually, similar lang. 800,000. Okay? 800, no, 300,000, sorry. 300,000 yung acquisition cost natin. Okay? And then, kailangan merong NC. Kasi ito, This one represents 80%. Kailangan ng 20%. So sir, how do we compute that one? Very easy lang class. Hindi naman actually given yung fair value. Yun yung ano, yun yung wala dito, yung fair value of the NCI. So we will compute na lang yung kanyang implied valuation. So implied fair value. Yung implied fair value ng class is equal to 300,000 divided by 80% times 20%. So magkano yung lumabas dyan class? Magkano yung lumabas? Lumabas is 75,000. 75,000 actually yung lumabas. Okay, let's compute that one. Okay, so 75,000 lumabas. But before that one class, before natin ilagay yung 75,000, don't forget to test it first sa limit. Yung limit po natin is the proportionate share of the NCI in the fair value or FIVINA of the subsidiary. So basically, how much was the NCI in the FIVINA of the subsidiary? So yung FIVINA po natin or the or the fair value of the identifiable net assets was 276. 276,000, okay, times 20%, yung limit po natin is 55,200. So bawal yung concept po dito, yung concept dito actually is bawal po bumaba yung fair value of the NCI sa proportionate share. Okay lang siyang mas mataas, wag lang yung bumaba as compared sa proportionate share. So in this case, okay lang naman na 75,000 kasi mas mataas naman siya sa okay lang gamitin yung implied fair value of the NCI kasi mas mataas naman siya sa proportionate share of the NCI in the fair value of the subsidiary. So okay lang gamitin yung 75,000. Okay? So this is the 100%. For the total natin, this is the 100% which is 375,000. Okay? Let's deduct na yung ating fair value of the identifiable net assets or the FIVINA, that is how much? 276,000. So that's for 276,000. So 375,000 minus 276,000, that is 99,000. Okay, 99,000. However, no, as of December 31, 2023, nagkaroon daw ng impairment test. So, yung impairment loss was equal to 10% of the recorded goodwill. So, 99,000 yung recorded goodwill, minusan po natin ng 10%. So, magkano po yung 10% of the 99,000, that is 9,900. So, yung impairment loss po is 9,900. So, magkano na lang yung amount of or the balance of the goodwill after considering the loss, that is 89,100 na lang. 89,100. Actually, class, our final answer for this one will be letter boy. Okay, letter boy yung sagot natin. 89,100. Okay. Now, similar yung ginawa natin kasi yung number 4, pinapa-compute naman po yung investment in subsidiary balance. So, similar lang, kukomputin po natin yung equity in income of the subsidiary. Okay. To for both years 2022 and 2023, and then similar yung gagawin natin sa taas. Okay, similar procedure. Now, ito lang po. So let's have the computations. For 2022, okay, similar lang, the share in net income. So dito po, 80%. So therefore, yung accounting natin dito, that is equal to 60,000, no? During 2022, 60,000. So 60,000. 60,000 times 80%. Kasi 80% lang naman yung na-acquire eh. So magkano ba yan class? 60,000 times 0.8, that is 48,000. Okay? And then i-reflect natin yung mga adjustments. So similar sa 2022, as above. So we have your inventory. Magkano yung inventory? That was 16,000. 16,000 times 80%. Okay, magkano? 16 times 80%, 12,800. Okay? And then, the patent. Huwag kalimutan yung patent. Yung patent, 2,000 actually. Yung 20K divided by 10 years times 80%. Okay? 20,000 divided by 10 times 80%. That is 1,600. Okay? So far, sa 2022, wala naman po tayong impairment loss so far in 2022. as recalled earlier, so ito na po yung equity in income of the subsidiary. Equity in income on 2022. So magkano po yan? 48,000 less 12,800 less natin 1,600. So 33,600. 33,600. Okay? 33,600. Okay? Ayan. Yan. So, teen income. Now, for 2023, ito na for 2023, ganito naman po yung gagawin natin for 2023. In 2023, similar lang, share in net income. Okay? Share net income po natin, that is 60K. No, that's not 60K. That was how much? That was 72,000. Ito pala. 72,000. Okay, for 72,000. Okay. 72,000 times 80%. So magkano yung 72,000 times 80%? 72 times 80% is 57,600. 57,600. And don't forget yung patent din as well, yung patent. Huwag kalimutan yung patent. Yung patent po natin, how much? 2,000 times 80%. So basically, yung inventory again, wala na kasi last year lang siya kinonsider. For 2023, wala na siya for 2023. Hindi na siya i-consider kasi nasold na siya 2022. So, 2K times 80%, that is 1,600. Okay? And then, similar sa first assumption natin, huwag kalimutan din yung impairment loss. Okay? So, magkano yung impairment loss? Ilalagay yung full amount po ng impairment loss. Magkano po yung full amount ng impairment loss? That is 9,900. Okay? Yung impairment loss ng 2023, huwag kalimutan, 9,900. Okay? 9,900. So, after considering din the impairment loss, no? Again, paki-consider ng impairment loss, baka magkamali tayo ng compute, no? Baka magkamali sa choices. Here is your equity in income of the subsidiary. Okay? That is 57,600 minus 1,600 less 99,000 or 9,900, no? This is 46,000. Yes, this is 46,100. 46,100 ba ba? Okay? No? 46,100. I don't know. It's not 46,900. It's because no, yung impairment loss natin hindi pa pala full, no? Since hindi na pala 100%, that is 80%. I'm sorry. No, so that's 80%. So for this one, gawin natin yung 9,900, i-multiply pa pala natin ng 80%. Okay? Yan, 99,900, no? 99,900. I-multiply pa natin ng 80%. Kasi 80% lang pala yung in-acquire, no? So, I thought na similar din sa 100%, no? So, nasanay tayo doon. So, fatal mistake din. So, dapat similar, apples to apples. So, 80% sa taas, dapat 80% all the way. No? So, 9,900, so that should be 7,000, no? Pag minultiply sa 80%, that will arrive at 7,920. No, ayan, 7,920. And after considering no, lahat actually ito na 'yon. The equity income in 2023 will be 57,600 less 1,600 less or minus 7,920. That will be 48,080. No, 48,080. Ayan. So after considering all of the items po, pwede na po tayo mag-compute ng investment balance. Okay? How much is your investment balance po? Okay? So similar lang, the acquisition cost, 300,000. For 2022 equity in income of the subsidiary, that's 33,600. Okay? And then equity in income of the subsidiary, palitan lang natin yung kulay Gawin natin blue. Yung kulay, palitan natin blue. So 33,600. For 2023, that was 48,080. For 2024, okay, dividends naman. So kung 80% consider lahat, dapat yung cash dividends received equal din lang po sa um 80% din po yung ma-reflect dito. So how much po yan? Okay, how much po yung dividend? So yung dividend 12,000 and ito yung dividend 12,000 and 15,000. So 12,000 times 80%, magkano po yan? 12,000 times 80%, that is 9,600. 15,000 times 80%, that is 12,000. So therefore, after considering all of the items, our investment balance as of December 31, 2023 is 300,000 plus 33,600 plus 48,080 less or minus 9,600 minus 12,000. Our fine investment balance will be 360,000. Okay? 360,000. Makukuha natin dito is 360,080. Okay? And that is our final answer for question number 4, letter C. 360,080. So, quite easy, quite basic lang. No, kailangan lang po kung meron na tayong format to answer. So, here's our format. You can copy this as well. No, if wala ka bang format, you can copy this as well. So, basically, mag-stick lang tayo sa concept. Okay? For equity method. Okay, so that's for problem number 1. For problem number 2 and problem number 3, we will solve that one in our the next part of this video. Okay, so thank you so much.